Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how I transformed an old deep wave 1B wig into this ginger bob. If you stay tuned, I'll show you step by step how I achieved this look. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like, comment, and ask any questions you want. And I'm self-taught, so bear with me. Okay, so let's get started. So this is what the unit originally looked like. I was just about to throw it out, but decided to play with it. So I used a BW2 bleaching powder, a 30 developer, ginger by Adore, and sunset orange by Artic Fox. And I also decided to try a bleaching bath for this unit. So what you do is you get your powder and you get your developer and mix it as usual. And also what I did off camera was added some hot water, which makes it a bleach bath. And I don't recommend using a container this small because it does get messy and you need something a little bit bigger just so you can make sure that you get the bleach all the way through, because that was my downfall. So I had to go back over it and to do a few touch-up spots. But overall, the bleaching method, the bleach bath method, is pretty cool when you're going to go back over it with a rinse anyway. So you're going to make sure you get the bleach on really good. You're going to saturate it all the way through. Get the front and the back really good. Then you get you a wig brush to make sure that it's all the way throughout the wig, making sure that bleach gets in there. See, you got to open it up and make sure you get all the spots done so you won't have any black spots like I did. It was only a couple of black spots, but this is why I say you need a bigger container, because I was very limited to how I could open the wig and make sure that it was getting bleached all over. And another thing to do when doing the bleaching bath is to please wear gloves. I know I don't have any on in this video, but I'm just so used to bleaching hair without gloves that I did not put any on. But I don't recommend you do that because you will burn your fingers and it's not a good feeling. So yeah, wear some gloves. Also, another step that I did off camera was I prepped my frontal with Got To Be spray. I sprayed my frontal with probably like 4 to 6 layers. That way you protect your lace and you protect your knots from getting any color on it. And then I used a mascara brush to apply it to the roots. And then after that, I just used a regular coloring brush and finish applying the color throughout the unit. And again, like I said in the beginning of the video, the color that I'm using to get this orange look is the Ginger by Adore and the Sunset Orange by Artic Fox. I just combined those colors in a mixing bowl, and this is the color that it came out to be. And I also let this color sit on overnight because I got tired and didn't feel like playing with the wig anymore. So yeah, I just put a cap on it and let the color sit on overnight, and this is the end result. And I like the deep wave look, but I was like, I've came this far, I might as well complete the transformation. So here is where I use my favorite heat protector and flat irons to get all of the waves out. So you go through it and you're gonna go ahead and straighten the hair first. And you just straighten the hair really good. And excuse my background, guys. I was just sampling some wallpaper and I ended up liking the wallpaper. So now I'm just waiting on the rest of it to get here so I can complete the wall. So yeah, so you're just gonna go through and make sure you straighten the hair as good as you can, because you're gonna want the hair to be as straight as possible, which is gonna help with your cut later. And I just basically take my time and go through probably about, I straighten like 3 rows at a time maybe. And you don't have to be that strategic. It's just what I like to do. Also, as I'm straightening the hair, I like to make sure that I use my heat protector on each piece of hair, because since I've already bleached the hair and put a rinse on it, I want to protect the hair. So I use the heat protector spray a lot throughout this video, and I'll drop in my description box the name of the heat protector spray that I use. I get it from Sally's. Okay, so as we're getting closer to the top, you're gonna see a couple of the spots that I was telling you about that didn't take well in the bleach bath. So once we get to the top, to make my frontal look more natural and flat, I like to use a wax stick and still continue to use the heat protecting spray. And then I take my hot comb and I make sure that I straighten the roots, get them as flat as I can. And then I go back over the same piece of hair with the flat irons again for an even more flatter look. And then I just continue this process throughout the whole frontal until it's done. Okay, so right here on the side piece, I'm just going to take this side and straighten it to the back because I want this side to go behind my ear. So I'm just going to straighten it to the back so it could be falling to the back. Also, when placing your hairpins or canvas pins to hold your wig, you want to be careful around the frontal part because if you place it too far up front on the lace and you pull the wig too hard, you could risk snatching the lace and ripping it. So kind of place the pin a little behind the lace inside the hair. So now for the hard part, cutting the bob. Now, bobs are not my forte, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going until I master this craft. And the reason why I say that is because it's a lot more to cutting a bob than just cutting a bob. Because every time I thought that the bob was coming out nice, something kept telling me to try it on just to make sure. And every time I tried it on, it was still uneven and I kept getting frustrated. And of course, I didn't catch that on camera. But yeah, it's more to it than what I'm showing, I guess, because yeah, it looks easy right here, but it's really not because you have to make sure underneath the bob is shorter than the top of the bob. It sounds crazy, but I don't really know how to explain it. But yeah, because if once you try the wig on, up underneath the bob, if the hair isn't cut shorter, then it'll be longer pieces in the back that'll throw your bob off. So just kind of keep trying the wig on to get a feel for what you want it to look like. And then you also need to adjust the mannequin head like I just did to hold it in a down position. That way you can also try to get the parts underneath to be shorter than the top. And also what I'm gonna do, another method is I'm gonna layer the bob so I could try to get the bottom piece to be shorter than the top. Yeah, so this part was a little time consuming because every time I thought, okay, this is it, she's nice and straight, I had to keep using my clippers and my shears to go back over and correct the bob. So yeah, don't get frustrated like I did. Just keep taking your time and take as many breaks as you need and come back to it and keep trying it on until you get your bob the way you want it. Okay, so now that all the cutting is done, it is now time to bump the wig. And when I say bump it, you're basically gonna do like how I straightened it, but when you get to the end, put a very light bend on the end because you don't want your bob to look like a mushroom. So yeah, basically straighten it out till you get to the ends and then do a very light bend. And then I like to take a wide tooth comb and comb it through after I'm done straightening it out and putting the bump on the end. And then you're gonna see when I get to the side here that I went a little too deep in my bump. So if you do go a little deep in your bump, no worries, just use your flat irons and go back over the same spot and kind of straighten it out a little bit. And then you'll have the desired look of your sleek bob. And then you're just going to continue this process throughout the entire wig until you have the entire wig bumped. Okay, so now that I've got to the top of the unit, I'm just going to use my shears to get my desired layered look on my side bang. And I also laid the edges off camera and played with the bangs a little bit more. And then this is the finished product. So if you like what you saw in this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop any suggestions on how I should cut my bob or anything else that you saw in the video that you can drop any helpful tips about. Oh yeah, and I also finished that wall. So stay tuned and I'll leave a part 2 for how I installed this unit. Thanks for watching. See you next time.